Welcome back, my dear students. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun and enjoying my courses full of errors that I actually allow to be included. And the reason why I allow this is because I want you guys to know that I'm not perfect and I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. I know some of you don't like that, but I do because you learned from my mistakes. But anyway, so let's do this. So on the last lecture, we saw that we were creating a request, a post request, and it was hanging there, right? It was just there because we were not sending a response from the server back to the client. We were not doing that. And then we later on we did that and it worked perfectly. Perfect. But now I'm going to show you how to take data from here, all right, from an external source and insert it in the database like it's supposed to be. But before we do that, we need to actually use another module, okay? And you've probably seen this module already. It's called the body parser. We need to install that. We need to parse post data. So let's go ahead and play around with this, okay? And see if we are able, okay? How can we take data from an external source and insert it in here, okay? There are two ways of doing this. Either we can accept this in the URL parameter or we can take a post. Now, the safest way of doing it is by doing a post data. But in order for us to do that, we need something to parse the post data. Node.js by default doesn't have that ability. We need to download some type of module. And remember, we're going to be using this guy here to do that, okay? But we got to tell it what type of data we want to send. Okay, you can see that we have a field here called form data. Okay, and that's exactly what we're going to be using. So let's come back here and download this module. I wanted just to give you that explanation here. It's called body parser, unless they come up with a better one in the future. And guys, you can do npm I to do npm install. It's the same thing. If you just see npm I somewhere, just know that they are the same. Here, as a new user, we are going to be taking the required body dot first name that's going to come. But now we need to require this first. Make sure that you require body parser. Require body parser. And it's called body parser, like that. Let's try to actually use this real quick. So um, let's come back here and say app use to install this in the middleware, and we're going to say body parser. Okay, and we're going to say that JSON. This is a method that is going to allow us to send JSON data to it. Okay, now we do have another method that we can use is app.use. Let's just install it here and we can say body parser. And now this here, the URL encoded, okay, method, is going to take this object that is going to have different options, okay? And these options here is to either say I want, when it's the extended option, when it's false, it could take a object with keys and values, or when it's true, it takes any type of encoded bodies, okay? Now, we're not going to get into that. That's just a lot of technicalities here. Just know that right now, we are able to get this property called body attached to the request when we are using the body parser, okay? And we are expecting a first name and we are also expecting a last name, right? Body last name, simple as that. And of course this is an object, so we are expecting a active. That's optional, remember. And we can just say request body dot is active. Okay, So now what I want you to do, and I'm going to do this in the next lecture, but what I want you to do is send a request here. Find a way to send a request. And when you send a request, I want you to be feeling very happy if you successfully create the request and get some type of data, which you should be able to get something like that. You might want to change it if you have a different result. Use it saved by me, so that way you know that that new response was new. Okay, so go ahead and do that. On the next lecture we'll finish it up. Thank you so much.